But let's get into the news here. We got this story, this Twitter thread from Matt Taibbi, and it's all right here. Check this out. Post number 20 of today's Twitter files. This post is about the Hunter Biden laptop situation. Shows that Yoel Roth, not only met weekly with the FBI and DHS, but with the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Take a look at this. This post. The most important thing, it says, in short, FML. Weekly sync with FBI, DHS, DNI re-election security. The meeting happened about 15 minutes after the aforementioned hacked materials implosion, blah, blah, blah. That right there says one thing very, very simply. Twitter was regularly meeting with federal law enforcement for quote unquote election security. But Twitter was being advised that there was going to be hacked materials and other things like that. We know that the FBI contacted them specifically about that. We now know they had consistent weekly meetings to the point where they were actually like, oh man, gonna have to miss our weekly meetup with federal law enforcement to figure out what's not allowed. This Twitter thread's actually very, very crazy. There's one post where, let me see if I can there's so many of these. Look at this one. Yoel Roth said, very boring business meeting that is definitely not about Trump. Pretty much. Definitely not meeting with the FBI, I swear. LMAO. It would sound and it would appear, I'm trying to be very careful, that Yoel Roth met with the FBI to discuss Donald Trump. I wonder what this was pertaining to. This Twitter thread from Matt Taibbi is specifically about banning Donald Trump. He says, after J6 internal Slacks show Twitter executives getting a kick out of intensified relationships with federal agencies, here's Yoel Roth lamenting a lack of generic enough calendar descriptions to concealing his very interesting meeting partners. Sounds to me like the FBI was meeting with Twitter and they colluded ultimately to come to the decision to remove Donald Trump, the first sitting head of state to be suspended from a platform. And aside from that, the other information showing that they were having regular 2020 election security meetings. And we know that the FBI warned them about the Hunter Biden laptop situation and they had access to this. So to me, I think this is the bare minimum confirmation the FBI was directly interfering in the 2020 election.
I mean, it's pretty clear after all the circumstantial evidence is coming together, and there's a lot of it, specifically highlighting the involvement of this. And I kind of want to bring back what U.S. Congressman Chuck Schumer said a couple years ago in 2017, when he was directly addressing Donald Trump, when Donald Trump was having problems with the intel agencies, with the FBI. He said, quote, the intel officials have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So I think it's fair to say that there was a lot of infighting, and it's fair to say that there was federal agencies, intel organizations, military psyops officers that were working at these big tech social media companies. There was a revolving door between all those institutions and a lot of these bigger companies, not just Twitter, but also Facebook, also Alphabet, also Google. And when you look at this revolving door, you clearly see a conflict of interest, people abusing their power, not just meeting together, but making big decisions. And this is what I said when the first Twitter files were coming out. I'm like, this is just bare minimum. This is still just scratching the surface, as there was a former FBI agent that was critically involved in this whole Trump collusion story that was involved in censoring it from the very beginning. So now I think we're seeing some of the layers of this onion unravel. A lot of people are going to be crying. And I think we're still only seeing the surface of what's a deeper relationship between the intel community and, of course, big tech social media that are working hand in hand together.